Missionary and First Church. We're glad you joined us for worship today, this flower communion before we close the summer. Whoever you are, whatever your theological, spiritual, political, sexual, or racial orientation, or your identity, you're welcome to worship here and become part of this community. Are there any announcements that we do with the launch? Are there any others of the words of
I am officially inviting this congregation to join the Plymouth and the Kings congregations for some worship. I will send an email out to you, but I'm just really something like that. It's a short service, not always late, but if you're looking for a place to go for a quick shot of the church on Sunday morning, we would like that we do it as we have. I would be attending the services. I'm sitting on the group. And that's okay. I'll see you.
We take magazines, we can get the right. Wow.
I'm sure you're all very excited. This is the last time I have to hear any announcements this year. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody for another wonderful year. I think this year in particular was a big turning point for us. And I know that everybody here gives so much of your time and so much of your talents and your effort and your love and your care. And I'm deeply appreciative of everything everybody here does. I know next year is going to be absolutely fantastic. And it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you. We do have a few events, even though services are done, and then I swear we're going to take a little bit of a rest. On June 16th, Abington Aspire is having their Pride Prom here. So I need a few volunteers to come and help me that morning. That's Friday, either that morning or Thursday night. We're just going to clear out some of the stuff out of their way so they can come and set up their decorations. I told them they could use our popcorn machine, so we help getting that out and cleaned up. So if anybody's available to assist with that, please let me know. Then June 17th is Rockland Day, and we're going to have a tent set up with some crafts and activities and things like that. So if anybody's available to come and sit in the tent, it is a very long day. It's hard for just a couple of people to be there, so if we can break it up into shifts, that would be great. It's going to be really fun. We're going to have lots of vendors, food and entertainment, and then in the evening you're going to have a fireworks display. So if anybody's available June 17th for Rockland Day, please let me know. On June 24th, we have an unofficial coffee house. The Massachusetts Walking Tour has chosen us as the venue for their free concert that evening. So that's Saturday, June 24th at 6. So if you want to come out and hear some free live music, this is the place to be. We're also looking for anyone willing and able to donate some baked goods, or if you want to come and volunteer for a couple of hours, setting up, cleaning up, selling food, that sort of thing. That's how we're going to make our money off the event, is through food sales. Lastly, I don't have the dates on me, but 2 days in August and 1 day in September, we're going to be up at Harts Park at the open air market. It used to be the farmers market, but no farmers come, so it's an open air market. But we'll be up again with our tent and games and activities and things like that. I picked dates that lead up to our reopening in the fall on purpose. So it'd be great for a few extra volunteers to help out, because I kind of want to make a big thing about it. So if you're interested in doing some summer volunteering, please let me know. Thank you again.
Good morning. I am quite awesome glad to be here. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations that aspire to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle to the universe, to this community, and to each other. Blessed be. Great.
Please stand if you're willing and able. And present to me the word found, the word of service, the laying of the chalice, and the article for this meeting. First, we prepare and proud. Add that little straight rose to a healthy stem. Add that stem rose to the top. Let us do first. How do you have a way to do? Well, the question, I mean, it's tough.
And our opening hymn, you can remain standing or if you're already tired out, is one of my favorites, Simple Gifts. Park Center. I think I have my documents. I like it. So green. Two containers. Now, you folks are good, kids are good at pretending. Can you pretend these are buckets? Can you pretend they're buckets? Can you pretend they're buckets? You need a lot of pretending going on in your house. Okay, they're buckets. What do you use buckets for? Carry stuff. A lot of people use buckets to carry. Well, once upon a time, the village far away from here, lived an old man who every single day took his 2 buckets and went down to the river, filled up the 2 buckets, and carried buckets back to his house to water the garden. What? One of the buckets. And okay, one second. Come here, stand with me. Now I'm gonna put some water in your bucket. You hold it up. Hey. No, water in your bucket. And when you hold it up high. So. Oh, the old man had these two lovely buckets, and one of them always dripped, and one of them didn't. So by the time he got up the hill with his buckets, the full one got dumped on the whole garden, and the plants up in the hill garden grew very well. But the bucket with the crack in it, the holes in the bottom, was always only half full. But that got dumped on the garden as well. Well, one day, some magic happened and the buckets could talk. Never heard of that before, did you? So the big full bucket without any cracks was always kind of full. I'm good. I don't spill. And the little bucket with the cracks in it, it's not so bad. And it's on the little bucket with the cracks in it said, I'm sorry, but I've always had these cracks in me, and I don't do as good a job as he does. Because every time I get up to the top with him, I'm always just half full, and I can't give you all the water that he can. No man said. He said, come with me. Walk, carry the bucket back down the hill. And when you walk back, he said, look up the hill, what do you see? The bucket said, a hill. What do you see on one side? What do you see? You see flowers. Flowers on one side. Rocks and sand on the other side. And he said to the bucket with the crack in it, how do you think these flowers come? It's because when I carried you up the hill, I knew that you would drip water when they most needed it. And so I planted all these flowers just so you would water them. And the little bucket never felt bad about being different again. And did his job of watering the flowers. And the bucket that was always so full of himself had to say, you know what? We both have a job. Everybody has a job to do. And one of the things about Unitarian Universalism is we talk about the worth and dignity of all living things. That's really important. You want to go over there, right among your friends. But we all have something to do, whether it's thank you. And I'm going to watch how they when folks come up to get their drawings. There was a time in our water service sharing of our joys and concerns. Events, smile markers that we mark the occasions of our lives and share. And if you are sharing a joy and concern, can I ask you please to bellow, because yours truly has old ears, and other people want to be able to hear your joy and your concern. So if you're speaking from the back, yell to that back wall. That's what the singing teachers say. Sing to the back wall. Who has a joy of understanding this year?
It's almost my birthday.
But there's something else to talk about too. Dot has a wiggly too. Right on test.
Dot also does her first dance recital today.
Circle there. You have something? Tomorrow's a field day at school? Where you go? Tell me, it's outside, not outside, okay, wonderful, have a lovely time for all of us.
I need to light 2 candles, one for our friend Kelly, who's recovering from surgery, and another one for Lisa, who will be diagnosed with ALS.
Jackson.
Yes.
Candle on Wednesday is the last day of school in Abington, and Nate has his moving up ceremony from 8th grade to being in high school.
Would you want anybody else?
Happy.
I didn't hear that.
For her family.
Now, we would like one last candle, the silent candle for the joys and concerns that we hold in our hearts. Do we hold these joys and concerns and our love of this community and the greater community in our hearts and go into the silence for meditation and prayer? Gratefulness, as Brother David Steindl-Rast represented, is the full exposure of the human heart to the gratuitousness of all that is. Truly, every single thing we have has been given to us, not necessarily because we deserved it, but gratuitously for no known reason. And whatever source we believe in, the giver, some concept of God, or simply the breathtaking randomness of the universe, when we give thanks, we take our place in the great wheel of life, recognizing our connection to one another, to all of creation. Howard Thurman once wrote, "To be alive is to participate responsibly in the experience of life. And for those who are uncomfortable within the structure of organization, finding a proper form of that responsibility is not easy. We've tended to shy away from many of the rituals that religion offers, and too often ended feeling disconnected and isolated. There is a deep hunger for connection within ourselves, with one another, with nature, and the process of birth and death itself. It is no surprise. Later today, in our flower communion or flower celebration, called by different names, we will celebrate our diversity and our togetherness in an old ritual that is our soul. Then, may we join together in singing the Spirit of God. May we sing number 123 in our hymn book. May we sing it as a prayer. We come to the time when we offer our gifts of Thanksgiving and our gifts of motivation and our gifts of purpose. We ask you to give as you are able, if you are not, just be grateful for you.
Please stand as you're willing to do for the dedication. Find the words of your wilderness servant. Thank you.
We're going to read you out the history of this beautiful ceremony.
Flower communion also known as the flower ceremony, flower festival, or flower celebration, depending on which church you go to, is a ritual service of community much beloved in Unitarian Universalists today. In many congregations, it is usually held on the last Sunday of worship in May or June, like we do here. But some congregations choose to hold the ceremony earlier in the spring, sometimes coinciding with Mother's Day or Easter. During the flower communion ritual, congregants bring and contribute flowers to a central location in the worship space, and later these same flowers are distributed back amongst the participants as a symbol of the beauty and fragility of life, as well as the strength and power of our shared vision. The flower celebration, as it is celebrated today, was first offered to the Unitarian congregation in Prague on June 4th, 1923 by Norman Chapek. Thank you. Norbert Chapek was also the actual founder of the Unitarian Church in Czechoslovakia. Creating his church right after World War I or World War II, he saw the need to unite the diverse population of congregants of his church. He needed to speak to a group of people who came from varying wisdom traditions, Protestant, Catholic, and Jewish, and do it without alienating those who had left those traditions. For this reason, he turned to the beauty of nature to create a ritual communion using the giving and receiving of flowers as a celebration of the beauty of religious community rather than the flesh and blood ritual sacrifices symbolized the practice of the Christian Eucharist. Though Unitarian Universalists often refer to the ritual as a flower ceremony, festival, or communion, Chapek's the term a slava. Oh. Slava. Okay, thank you. Is more accurately translated as flower celebration, a term which continues to be preferred by Czech Unitarians today. In its essentials, the ritual involves the following. Each congregant brings a flower to be used in the service. We also have extras. Congregants leave their flowers at a central location, either as they enter or during the service. So if you haven't put flowers, they still can. And then towards the end of the service, the flowers are distributed, or members of the community come forward and choose a flower that is different from the one they found. The actual elements of the order of service can vary widely in different congregations. As it is with so many of us, this is no different. We choose to make up our own minds, create our own rituals, to celebrate our communal spirit. As will we all do as part of this service here today. Other elements in flower communion might include the sermon, the blessing of or prayer over the flowers, a reading by Norbert Chapek, and in this case, today singing the final hymn, Color and Fragrance, written by Chapek before he died in a concentration camp in 1942.
Now I would ask you to pull up this little piece of paper that is in your service. And we're going to read it together. It is the consecration of these flowers written by Norbert Chapek. And because Unitarian Universalists believe in the priesthood of all believers, that all of us can preach, all of us can teach, and all of us can learn, we can all bless these flowers or ask a blessing of the flower. Like we can bless anybody, we can bless a friend, I can bless you, you can bless me back. God is nice, but we can do it. And so starting with infinite spirit of God. Infinite spirit of God, we ask your blessing on these planets, Father, your messenger of the fellowship and love. May they remind us and our university of knowledge and ability to be one with to search truth. May they remind us that courage and of duty and sharing life. May we cherish one another's friendship and one of life's precious gifts. May we not let the rarest other talents starve them or drown out in religion, but may we come to realize that whatever we do, great or small, together all of us are needed to do the work of the connection between the children's story and this. Oh, and at the bottom of this, if anyone wants to know the full story of Overcover, there's a link to a website. Take you there. His history is really interesting. He started out as a Catholic, then became a Baptist, and finally, knowing there was a Unitarian movement in Central Europe, he took that to Prague. And FYI, I have stood in the church. I preached there. I've been in the church that he started. And he did die in a concentration camp. He and his daughter were both captured and arrested. He died in South Africa, but his daughter made it back out, and his wife escaped. And she brought his wife, Lana, brought the Flowers Communion to Cambridge, Massachusetts for its first celebration. One of the many things that people knew or semi-knew to the Episcopal office prior is they love the people, the theology, the message. You can ask questions to change your mind. Not to mention they really want to fill. They will often pause to add a new stir. You know what? Every so often, I really miss the rituals, the church or the tradition that I left behind. I assured them that this does not make them a bad person. And the good news is, we're working on it. In my humble opinion, one of the basics that UU was grew up with the denominational backwater was religious ritual. That's one of the things we're getting away from, they tell me. It's artificial. It's people with candles and incense and bells and whistles, all dressed up in long dresses, going nowhere. That I can see. All of the costumes and the finery mean nothing. And somehow I miss it. And what about the LGBTQ folks? What would they have to say about them? The anti-men in dresses. Think about it. Men mostly dressed to the nines, marching around the room, singing in foreign language. I came here to get away from all of that, I think. And yet, I made to admit it. And I repeat, I miss it. Well, my friends, you're not alone. And by the way, when I need a really big hit of ritual, religious ritual, I take myself to a Russian or Greek Orthodox church and get there early. They all get there early, an hour before the end of the service. The service is 3 hours long. Just go and live it. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. One of the things Protestants left behind when they left the Holy Roman Church and Empire were the flashy vanities of ritual worship. The gold and silver plates, the candlesticks, the marble statuary, the incense, gold, and clothing. And a desire to leave off the decorative trappings of the church and its hierarchy and to concentrate more fully on the message when their worship spaces were stripped of much of their ornate decoration. The clergy, if we wrote down at all, did so in simple underwood black. The focus of religious gathering was to hear and personally experience the power of the Word of God, not simply sit back as an observer and watch the replay of the sacrifice and resurrection of Jesus. Protestants, that's us, were protestants, walking away en masse from a church that kept its parishioners worshiping at arm's length, and at the same time threatening anyone who dared stand up and walk away and challenge this with eternal hellfire and damnation. But after a while, it turned out that wasn't working either. And slowly, over the years, sacred ritual began to work its way back into the Unitarian Universalist religious experience. It's a giant step from the Protestant Reformation in the 1500s to the beginnings of the Czechoslovakian Unitarian Church in Prague in the 1920s. But there were enough people in Prague and in Central Europe really at the time who were ready. When they heard Novichok's message, universal salvation, through good works and right living, through the pursuit of justice and compassion, here began a Unitarian determined resistance to the growing threat of the Nazi regime, and this message found a home where it took root and began to flower. Ritual is a way humans mark and celebrate important life events. Weddings, funerals, the harvest, the solstice, the birth of a child. Some people, I'm thinking of Quakers, have dispensed with religious ritual altogether. But even they have a traditional practice for important life events, like weddings or funerals. They just do it more quietly. And stepping aside from my text for a minute, I took a trip, a theater trip to England once with a really very well-versed theater historian. And what I learned there that both drama and religious ritual began out in the country, pagan country, people would heard, at this harvest and the threshing season, where they put the grain down in a circle and stomped on it in a circle and walked around and walked around. What do people do when they walk? They walk in rhythm, and then sometimes they're speaking in rhythm. And from these beginnings came both theater, dance, and religious ritual. I didn't know that, and I love that story. For your information, FYI, my own personal theology has much in common with Quaker theology. And if you ever want to talk to me about it sometime, like next year, maybe we could have some guided conversation on the varieties of religious tradition and practice at the Grace. Humans need ritual, and if we don't have it, we will create it. Chopin recognized this and sought to address it. He wanted a communion ritual without the body. He wanted something to celebrate the deep connections felt by members of his community to and for one another. He wanted to honor and celebrate their diversity of thinking and their commonality of purpose. And does this sound familiar? Well, it should, because this is what we've been doing after the 1500s. In so doing, he created the ceremony of the flower communion. We use flowers to celebrate, to mourn, to give, to adorn, and they come in every imaginable shape, size, season, and smell. We give flowers to the people we love, and who we trust will receive them in the spirit given, as we do today, and will do in just a few minutes. Every time I participate in the flower communion, I find myself in tears or at the very edge of it. Flowers are nature therapies. They grow with only one purpose: to reproduce and make more of themselves. Personal pride of beauty has nothing to do with it, other than if you're really bright and really pretty and really good at smelling, you will attract bees and birds to help you make more flowers. Flowers don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about this. They don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. That's good machine. Flowers have work to do. Being pretty is a verb. It's the ultimate sin. They are because they are. If you think about it, and we still have time to save them before climate change eliminates so many. So, dear ones, in a few moments, we'll all read together what you already did, the prayer of consecration flowers that Novichok wrote became his first flower communion. Then, with the kids, to help me give them out, I will invite you to come forward or send someone and come and take the flowers. Whoops, that someone else has done for you. I promise whatever flower you take will be the right one for you. I have a stack of, just when you get up there, take a napkin and wrap the base with a bit of wet cake or just cut it back when you get home and put it in water. And from then until the time it will inevitably curl in on itself and drop, let yourself be reminded of the cycles of life and growth, the human cycles of the living of our lives, and the greater cycles of all creation, of which we are all a part. Blessed be. And we're going to When you come up, and we'll invite you up, take a flower. I would like you also to please take one of these lovely purple things. It's catmint. It's probably a weed, it certainly grows like a weed and it spreads like mint. But it's wonderful and beautiful, and you take it home, skin off the leaves at the bottom, maybe cut it back a little bit. And either leave it in the water or put some rooting hormone on it and stick it in the ground. That'll take off. And it doesn't go all over the house, it grows in clumps. So you don't have to, chain it to the wall to keep it from spreading all over the place. But it comes up and the birds, it's our gift to the birds and the bees, they love it. My guys outside are swarming, the honeybees all over it all the time, hummingbirds too. So would you please, dear ones, come forward? Would you please sort of help people, maybe you can pass out and maybe you could help me. Take one of these. You and you. Okay, why don't you come forward, please? And do please, thank you, this is lovely, I love you, sir. Please come back up and get it, take some more of the cat. It's keeps coming back, and it's so good to be. I'd like to close with a flower communion prayer, also written by Robert Tucker. In the name of Providence, which implants the seed, the future of the flower, and in our hearts, the longing for people to live in harmony. The longing for people to live in harmony. In the name of the highest, in whom we move and who makes the mother and the father and the brother and sister, lover and loner, what they are. In the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrificed their lives to hasten the coming of the age of mutual respect. This is what we believe in, folks, the age of mutual respect. Let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real brothers and sisters, regardless of any kind of bar which estranges us from one another. In this holy resolve, that was a hard one. In this holy resolve, may we be strengthened, knowing that we are God's family, that one spirit, the spirit of love unites us, and endeavor for a more perfect and more joyful life. May it be so.
So before we extinguish the chalice for the last time this church season, I wanted to extend a couple of thank yous to the two people who have contributed greatly to improving and keeping bringing more, opening up more of us to be present in the sacred in our services. So first, I'd like to thank Matt for all the planning this year. If I didn't ride a motorcycle today. Then for our affiliate minister, Reverend Judy. Now I'll turn it back over to her for the DC. Who are you? Sorry, I got a hand press.
See, it got me all over the world. I hope somebody will, if you took pictures today, someone maybe we can take a picture or something, because, yeah. If you can hear me in clergy meetings, I am so proud of us, because I'm a member of you. This is people, my clergy friends, how's the Rockland Church doing? Yeah, this is wonderful, this is wonderful. You know, I'm retired and you're letting me still do this ministry, which is the core of my life. So, thank you. And our closing hymn is Color and Fragrance. You don't know it, but that's okay. Do the best you can. We're only going to sing the first 4 verses. But look at the words. Again, Norbert Chopik wrote this. He wrote this. And he died in 1942. And he wrote it before. And call your attention, please, to that the very last line. None are too small to be God's vision. Extinction.
Please stand as you're willing and able. Thankfully, distinguished accounts. We distinguish the flag, but not let them do. Was higher. He is declared in our hearts, so we are together.
Go in peace.
Thank you.
It's okay, honey.